just as they did during the Trump campaign and the Trump presidency, without actually asking for evidence. Why aren't they asking? Because they don't care.
We got my man Patrick Bet-David having a conversation with Tulsi Gabbard, and apparently they're saying that Hillary Clinton weaponized the FBI. She is weaponizing the FBI at this moment. And she's been, what is she doing? She's not connected to anything. How is she weaponizing the FBI? Well, we're definitely about to find out. A lot of people say that that the Biden administration is actually the Obama administration. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on that I got questions about, but we're about to see.
Wow. Durham report comes out.
Yes.
Okay. Mainstream media, boom. Nobody even talks about it. Everybody else is like, wait a minute, did you guys just see what happened here? Okay, this is a real thing. What was in the Durham report that people need to pay more attention to?
What I did see, first of all, from talking heads on MSNBC, and I believe even CNN, was they did talk about it, actually, maybe not much, but what they did say about it was a complete dismissal, that it was nothing of value, that it should not be paid attention to, that it was just more lies and more bias, et cetera, et cetera. Completely dismissing it and not actually addressing the substance of it. The one person who I would say was pretty fair in his analysis was Jake Tapper.
Jake Tapper was the one that had a conversation with, no, he didn't. He actually had an expert go through the Durham report and pick it apart. And he said that based off of that information that you just gave, shouldn't this exonerate Donald Trump? But they would never give him that. They would never give him that. They try to water it down and play it as if, well, he found this part to be untrue, but this part was still true. So I guess we had a reason to really go after him. And he found this part to be untrue, but you still have this part that was still true. So I guess nothing really, it really was nothing. So she's right. They dismissed the crap out of this show.
On CNN, when he talked about it, he had a fair interview on what was in the report, what wasn't in the report. And his own statement was that this was essentially an exoneration of Donald Trump.
Yes, I did a video about this too. Hopefully y'all go check it out. That was an interesting video, very informative, but it does show how so one-sided these news organizations are.
Fox News covered it, obviously. And I think overall, the major takeaway for people who don't have time to read the report or didn't catch it in the news is that it absolutely exposed the FBI. The FBI is being weaponized essentially by the Hillary Clinton camp. Barack Obama and his team were aware of it to go after and investigate and try to undermine Donald Trump's candidacy and presidency.
Hopefully she told them, and while you're investigating him, could you please do me a favor and investigate, Benghazi as it pertains to me? I know there was a whole bunch of emails and everything, but I want you to investigate Benghazi as it pertains to me, just so I can, feel like, everything is level. Can you do that for me? Hell no, she ain't gonna do that because she might have been arrested. And now I know why at the Trump rallies, people used to say, lock her up. Because after I looked into that, OMG, I'm not even going to talk about it right now because I don't want to seem more foolish than I already am, but still, yeah.
I want to read this from Washington Examiner, May 19. Durham report, 5 key takeaways from the bombshell findings into Trump-Russia investigation. No proper basis to launch Crossfire Hurricane. Durham report claims that Crossfire Hurricane, the Trump-Russia investigation, lacked a proper foundation due to the FBI's failure to conduct key source interviews, review its own databases, and apply standard analytical tools. 2, Hillary Clinton connections. The report indicates instances of FBI favoritism towards Hillary Clinton, including defensive briefings, ending an investigation due to illicit campaign funds, and restricted probes into the Clinton Foundation. Mark Elias, the Clinton campaign's general counsel, and Michael Sussman, his former Perkins Cole law firm colleagues, are criticized for their roles with Fusion GPS and Steele dossier. And then 3rd, dossier on Russian disinformation. The report uncovers the use of unverified Steele report of Pfizer applications targeting former Trump campaign associate Carter Page. Intelligence might have compromised Steele's sources and highlights that Igor Danchenko provided Steele with rumor and speculation. Number 4, no collusion. Durham's report suggests that absence of tangible collusion evidence at the onset of Crossfire Hurricane, while the FBI continuously upheld claims from Steele dossier disregarding contradiction information. Last but not least, no further crimes charged. The report culminated in only one guilty plea by ex-FBI lawyer Kevin Kleinsmith for document falsification, despite charges against Sussman and Danchenko, and report found no further criminal offenses. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because back in 2016, this is what Hillary Clinton said about you. Russia's grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far, just like Jill Stein did back in 2016. You responded, the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption, and personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long. I mean, you went gentle at her the way you did. So the reason why I'm kind of putting these two together is the following reason. One, a lot of smart people believed that Trump was tied to Russia. A lot of educated people, a lot of people that are professionals, they have degrees, they're smart, they're like, yeah, you know what, he is. And for 3 years, most of America actually believed it. And I know you try to sue Hillary Clinton, and I think that whole thing back and forth, 7 months later, whatever happened with that. But now Fox pays $787, to Dominion, and there's another $1.7 billion or $2.1 billion that's right now sitting with Smartmatic. I mean, are you kidding me? Like, do you not have any more where I feel like this is the part of Republicans where they screw up? You have something like this that just came out. Why not get lawyered up, create a fund of Americans that would want to fund this? Hey, this is how I would do it. Listen, guys, I'm not doing this alone. I'm not going to pay the legal fees. It's going to cost a lot of money. You really want this? If this hits $50 million on GoFundMe, we're going to go get the best lawyers and investigate every single thing Clinton's, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, everybody did. We will investigate it, and we will show documentation of all our expenses, but we will not do it until it hits $50 million. You want it? Pay up.
I think that's a great idea. I think that it's a phenomenal idea. You guys already, when people run for president or they run for office, y'all pony up with the money real quick just to see your favorite politician win or to see your least favorite politician that they're running against lose. Pony up the money. But I honestly don't even think, I see why they would get everyone involved, but they already know that this information is out there. So why not just go ahead and they got money. These people, they try to cry broke. The government, the United States is in debt, but the individuals who have this information and know that they can investigate this, investigate it. Get it done. Get it done. Why can't they just get it done? Is it that expensive? Well, yeah, it is that expensive because they're going to have to lawyer up like crazy. Nobody operates off of integrity and character anymore. So let me just be quiet. Everything does cost a poop ton of money. But what he just now laid out makes some great sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Pay some money to GoFundMe. Why isn't that happening? I feel like a lot of American people are sitting there saying, dude, all this shit, show some backbone, go fight, give a lawsuit, do something about it. You're not doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
It's a great question.
How they're trying to fight it is through public opinion. And unfortunately, y'all not going to win that battle because a lot of people who need to have that information, they can care less to visit the platforms that's providing this information. So they'll never have it. And they'll never have an opinion. So there's your public opinion right there. The public would never have an opinion over something that they never see.
Without any response or true accountability, there's no reason why this kind of thing wouldn't happen again. There's a reason why people believed all of it. It's a reason why people, when Hillary Clinton said that to me, my first reaction was like, this is so insane, it's laughable.
Were you expecting it at all when she said that?
Of course not. No, I wasn't.
Came out of left field.
Only reason I'm asking is like, were you hearing behind closed doors? She was saying it to other
I
people.
knew that there were murmurs.
Okay.
Because I mean, look at what happened to Donald Trump. It became the go-to line when they didn't like what someone was saying. It was automatically like, oh,
Sure.
okay, these are Russian talking points, or it became kind of that thing. I was not expecting, the former Secretary of State, former U.S. Senator, former First Lady, to spend the time talking about me in this light and smearing me and trying to cancel me. But the reason why people, and as I campaigned and I went out and talked to people, I was confronted sometimes angrily, sometimes very emotionally. This woman, I'll never forget, I was at a very small little Democratic Party event in a small rural county in South Carolina. And this woman who was the chair of that county Democratic Party came up to me. There's probably 50 people in the room. And she put her hands on my shoulder, and she was so serious, and her eyes were almost welling up with tears. And she said, I need to look you in the eyes and ask you, are you working for Putin? She was not joking. It was a very, she obviously took her role seriously. She took her leadership seriously. This was something that was really, really concerning to her. And I looked her directly back in the eye and I said, I love my country so much so that I'm willing to die to protect and defend the United States of America and the American people.
And there are not many people who are in office, who care to be in office, who feel that way. They would much rather most of them are cowards. I'm just going to say it like that. Most of them are absolute cowards, but we still vote them in. That's unfortunate, man.
Does that answer your question? She said, yes, thank you. But the fact that it impacted her so deeply shows not only, again, the influence of the Clintons, Hillary Clinton, but what is that machine? Why is it that these things become believable? Why are they never questioned? Why is there never a request for evidence? Why didn't Axelrod in that conversation say, oh, really interesting. What evidence do you have to prove that point? These things were never asked in the mainstream media. They just repeat the talking point over and over, just as they did during the Trump campaign and the Trump presidency, without actually asking for evidence. Why aren't they asking? Because they don't care.
Absolutely. They do not care, man. They don't care, especially if it's going to negatively affect them. They don't want the information.
They repeat the talking point enough to the point where people believe, well, this is fact. I heard it on CNN.
Yeah.
I heard it on MSNBC. I heard it from Hillary Clinton. How could it not be true? And I've had so many conversations with people, like even people who know me personally. And they're like, people on CNN lie. Like, but why would they lie? They probably just got bad information. They didn't mean to. Like, no. There's nefarious intent here to manipulate the American people to believe certain things so that then they take action in the interest of that status quo. The Hunter Biden laptop, the 51 senior former intelligence officials. There's unfortunately many examples of how these lies are created, spread, and perpetuated in order to achieve a specific outcome. And you're right, Pat. If there's no accountability, if there's no action taken, these are some of the things that we need to be continuing to look out for as we head into this next election.
I like Tulsi Gabbard. I really enjoy Tulsi Gabbard. There's a little bit more for this video, but per usual, I'm going to place the original link in the description below. It's starting to heat up, man. More people are having conversations about it. And guess what? I still have a bunch of people on my side who are Democrats and liberal supporters. And I'm hoping that this information will reach them and resonate with them. Like they will start to understand that, I'm not trying to do this to be, just part of a team. Team conservative, everything that's against liberals, I want to share it. No, I can care less about that. I don't do politics that well. What I do though is I concern myself with people in our future. I have a family myself. I have children myself. I want to see my grandchildren and my grandchildren's children, have a country to live in, something that they'll be proud of when they're of age. That's what my concerns are. But the people in office right now, they are just so damn selfish. They don't care about nobody but themselves. It sucks, man. And they'll sell piece by piece of this country to other countries, and we won't even know it.